You ever had that moment where you're just lying in bed, picturing your dream life? The dream house? The six-figure bank account? The applause when you finally make it? You get chills just thinking about it, right? It feels like you're doing something productive, like you're manifesting your future. But let me ask you something honest. How many times has that daydream translated into actual action? How many of those big ideas turned into consistent daily effort? If you're like me back then, the answer is probably zero. And I get it, because I used to live inside my own head too. Today we're going to talk about how daydreaming isn't harmless. It's one of the biggest silent killers of your discipline, and I'm going to show you exactly how to break out of it. Part 1. Why daydreaming feels so good. So, why does it feel so good to live inside your head? Why does imagining success give you such a rush, even though nothing's actually happening? It's because your brain doesn't care if it's real or not. When you imagine something vividly, your brain releases dopamine, the same reward chemical it would if you actually accomplished it. Visualizing yourself rich, admired, shredded, or successful triggers that chemical high. But here's the trap. Your brain mistakes that fantasy for progress. And once you get that dopamine hit, your motivation to actually work for it drops. This is why you'll see people watching motivational montages on YouTube for hours, hyping themselves up, and then doing absolutely nothing. It feels productive. But it's poison for your discipline, and honestly, it's an easy escape. When you're insecure about where you are, it feels way better to imagine a future where you've made it than face the uncomfortable truth of where you actually stand. Part 2. My personal daydreaming trap. I'll be real with you. There was a time when I was a master daydreamer. I would literally spend hours imagining myself waking up in a fancy apartment, working out in a high-rise gym, owning my dream car. I'd picture interviewers asking how I made it, what books I read, what my morning routine was. And in those moments, I felt unstoppable, like, bro, this is gonna be my life. But when I looked at what I was actually doing, sleeping in till 11 a.m. scrolling, YouTube eating garbage, not working out, not building skills, not chasing opportunities, I wasn't living like a future millionaire, I was living like a future nobody. And it hit me one day, I was lying to myself. All that mental hype was doing was making me feel better about my laziness. So I made a rule, I could only daydream after I'd earned it, after I finished a workout, after I made progress on my goals, and when I stuck to that, everything started to shift. Part 3. Social media is making it worse. And here's something nobody talks about enough. Social media multiplies this problem by 100x. Every day we're scrolling through these carefully curated highlight reels of other people's lives. Everyone's posting luxury trips, shredded physiques, $10,000 per month side hustles. And it makes you imagine yourself in their shoes. You start fantasizing. That could be me. And it feels so good, but it's fake. Most of those people aren't as happy or successful as they look. But even if they were, that dopamine hit you're getting isn't making you money. It's not building your body. It's not fixing your habits. And every minute you spend in that fantasy world is a minute you're not in the real world, where the work actually happens. Part 4. The science of why it kills discipline. Let's go a little deeper into the psychology. Your brain builds habits based on reward cycles. If imagining success gives you dopamine, and taking action feels painful, guess what your brain learns? Skip the hard stuff, just imagine it. And every time you do it, you reinforce that shortcut. The pathway for daydreaming gets stronger. The pathway for discipline gets weaker, and eventually you stop believing you can actually build those habits because you've trained yourself to live in your head instead of in reality. This is why you see people stuck in the same spot for years, constantly planning and visualizing and manifesting, but never building real momentum. And it's not because they're lazy, it's because they accidentally rewired their brain to chase easy dopamine instead of long-term growth. Part 5. How to break the loop. So how do you fix this? I'm going to give you 5 things that worked for me. 1. Make your fantasies cost you something. I made a deal with myself. No motivational videos, no luxury car fantasies, no millionaire montages unless I finished my workout and my top 3 tasks for the day. And it was tough, but it worked. 2. Track actions, not ideas. Every night, write down what you actually did, not what you thought about. You'll get disgusted with yourself real fast if you're not moving. 3. Visualize the consequences too. When you daydream, don't just imagine the rewards. Force yourself to picture where your life will be if you stay lazy for another 5 years. That's a brutal wake-up call. 4. Build one tiny discipline anchor. Pick a micro habit you'll do every day no matter what. 10 push-ups, 5 minutes of journaling, 1 cold shower. It breaks the fantasy loop and reconnects you to reality. 5. Limit your social media exposure. Not saying quit entirely, but stop watching highlight reels of people's fake lives, because every second you spend wishing you were them is a second you could be building your own. Look, I'm not against dreaming big. We need big visions, but if you don't put action behind them, they're not dreams, they're distractions. The harsh truth is you can either feel successful in your head or become successful in reality, but you can't have both. So here's what I want you to do. The next time you catch yourself lost in a fantasy, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now to earn this future? And then do it. Tiny steps, every day, because discipline beats daydreaming every single time.